You know what would make that better? A cup of white cane coffee.
Wow, that really is great coffee.
White cane coffee, because every cup makes a difference.
It's not just about music lessons. It's about hard work, perseverance, dedication, self-expression, making memories. Let's make memories together.
Good morning and welcome to the cafe as White Cane Coffee presents Coffee and a Conversation. Brian Hagberg with you on your daily local. Got myself a fresh cup of Dragon's Roast that I picked up right here at the cafe. Come on down, pick up a fresh cup of your favorite roast when you get it in one of these special laser engraved tumblers. Get it filled with your purchase. Bring it back. Get 50% off your refills as part of the White Cane Coffee Mug Club. And while you're here, you can pick up a cinnamon roll or a Danish. Breakfast burritos are great as well. Stop in around lunchtime. Soup and sandwich is now available at the White Cane Coffee Cafe. If you can't make it down to the cafe, White Cane's also available on DoorDash. Just place your order. Have your favorites delivered right to your door. You can also order your favorite roast to brew at home online at whitecanecoffee.com. Again, this is Coffee and a Conversation. Our special guest this week, Tidioute Borough Manager Amanda Mesel. Excuse me. Welcome to the show. And you guys got a big event coming up here tonight. We got a special Friday edition of Coffee and a Conversation. Big event coming up for the holidays tonight.
Yeah, we do. Our Hometown Holidays event is taking place tonight in downtown Tidioute. It's going to kick off at 6 o'clock with our light up parade. We have about 20 to 25 registered people right now, to between floats and side by sides to dirt bikes to big equipment. Last year we had a log skidder decorated. So we're hoping that we can get some of those back. But it starts at 6, and then following the light up parade, it's all taking place on Main Street. I guess I should tell you that. It's right on Main Street, right in town. And following the light up parade, we have tons of activities taking place in our old True Value building. We have tons of family friendly events, from making reindeer food to ornaments to you can get hot cocoa and Christmas coffees, I guess. You can write letters to Santa. There's going to be caroling, and it's all taking place right in downtown on Main.
And if you need a little refresher of what Main Street and Tidioute looks like, go check out the video on the Your Daily Local Facebook page. I got a chance to take a little stroll down Main Street a couple of weeks ago, and got a lot of interesting feedback, especially from people who have since moved away. Talking about the memories and I miss my hometown. So it was kind of cool to see just how many people who have since left the area for whatever reason, or come back and say, I remember doing this, or I remember going to this place,
right?
And I think that's one of the things about living in a rural area like we do, right? You have those small town main streets, and they feel different than it does in some of the larger urban areas.
Right. And I will say our community, we are lucky to have our Hometown Holidays hometown lighting committee actually does tying of the greens, which we already did that event this year. So when you go down Main Street, we have literally their real Christmas greens wrapped onto Christmas lights, and they do the whole way down Main Street. So they're hanging. So it looks gorgeous, and it looks like that hometown feel.
Right.
Somebody said to me the other day, they come in the office, they're like, it's like a Hallmark movie. And I'm like, that's a good comparison, I guess. It is like one of the Hallmark Christmas movies. So yeah, we're trying to kick off this event. We do have some special guests coming. The Warren County Grinch is going to be visiting us, and I know Brian is familiar with him. He's visited here a few times. So
he tried to accuse me of posting fake news today. I mean, we had a really good conversation, I thought, and he was generous enough to take a photo with me afterwards, and I posted it on Facebook, and it's just he's not all bad, and accuse me of fake news. So.
We'll see what happens when he visits us in Tidioute tonight. So we'll see what happens. So
and that's those are the kind of thing is, of course, when you come talking about family friendly events, to have the Grinch and things like that to come and really brighten the spirits, for the kids who are
Right.
there, and the adults too. It's amazing. It always amazes me how often, you say, "Oh, we're bringing such and such for the kids," and then the adults show up and they're just as excited.
And
about it.
I might be as excited for the Grinch to visit us, Brian. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about him coming down. I seen what he did at the Warren event in Youngsville, so I'm pretty excited that he's going to visit us in Tidioute. But yeah, we just have tons of events taking place in the old True Value building right on Main at the conclusion of the parade.
Yeah.
So it's all family friendly events. Most of them are free.
Yeah.
Most of them are free. There's a few things that can be purchased. They're going to do chili and corn dogs that you can purchase. There's movies going to take place in there with popcorn for the kids. Obviously, Santa's going to be there. There's going to be an area you can take Christmas photos with your family. So there's going to be so many events taking place inside that building. The kids are going to be busy.
And you mentioned you had about 25 or so entrants, I guess, for lack of a better word, into the parade. And the parade is going to start right at 6.
Right at 6,
and right down Main Street. Where are they starting the parade?
They're starting right in front of the fire department, right on Main. And then they'll go all the way down Main, past the True Value building, past Picture Show Park, to the main intersection. So, and we're still taking registrations up to that night. So anybody's able to join. There'll be a registration table down at the fire department. Come and fill out the registration form, and you can be in the parade.
There you go. And of course, the streets are going to be closed, and people just line Main Street on the sidewalk there.
Yep, there'll be a registration table right in front of the fire hall. They'll help you get lined up. So if you want to bring a float, a side by side, like I said, we got 4-wheelers, dirt bikes. I mean, it's always the kind of what's going to show up this year kind of thing. But she's got a good turn. We have a good turnout for tonight, like a good turnout of people we know that are coming. So, but we'll take any more entries tonight.
So go ahead down to Tidioute Fire Hall and get yourself entered into the Hometown Holidays Parade. And again, I love the rural parades because they always have some of the most unique entrants. Like you were talking about the logging vehicle.
Yeah.
And, we had when the Warren Parade, downtown Warren Parade, a week ago had some of the big concrete mixers and dump trucks and stuff, and it's always interesting to me to see, how we incorporate, again, some of that rural life into our parades. I know my wife is originally from Kreuzberg, and we were up for their parade a couple of weeks ago, and the majority of their entrants were horses. It really kind of became a horse parade, and because that's so much of
their area.
Well, what Kreuzberg has is with the horses, and so it was kind of cool just to see. They had the big Clydesdales to mini horses, and everything in between. And and it's always so interesting to me to go to the different places around and just see what they have and how it represents that particular community.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like I said, there's entries, but we always get last minute entries. So you never know what's going to end up in it until last minute. But we'll probably take registrations until about, I would say 5:45, just to give us time to get it all lined up with the judges. And I didn't even add that into the conversation. I should have brought that up, right? I mean, we are giving 4 prizes away. They're $100 cash prizes. There's 4 different categories you can enter. So that's a good deal for you to come down and for holiday spirit,
right?
And make some money,
make a little money.
Yeah, so
get a little extra cheddar to spend before the holiday season.
Exactly.
And while you're there, some of those businesses in Tidioute will be open.
Tons of businesses.
If you win that prize, you can go spend that money right there in Tidioute.
Absolutely. We love for it to stay in the community. We would love that.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm sure your business owners would love it as well.
Oh, I'm sure they would. They would appreciate shout outs right now, I'm sure. But yeah, it's definitely, this is the first year we're doing prizes. Right. So it's the first year it's going to be judged. Okay. That it's definitely something new for us. But we were hoping that would bring people in, and
Right.
we are getting more numbers as the years are going. The more years we're doing it, we're getting more participation. So I think with the cash prizes, that's going to be a helping
Right.
factor to
Yep.
get us more people in town. So
Well, and we were talking about this a little bit before we went on air here. It's this is the 4th year that you guys have had the hometown holidays, and 3rd year for the parade. And,
Yep.
just a little bit about how from where it started to where it is now, and maybe into the future, how this event has grown and potentially will grow, and to become a really a staple event for
Right.
Tidioute.
Right, it is, and we're making changes. I know it's actually charter schools PTO
Right.
is doing most of the events for the activities in the True Value, and they are making changes. They learning every year. If they did this activity with the kids and it was bad, we don't do that next
Right.
year, so
Yeah.
they don't do it. So they're trying to always taking new ideas, saying this worked this year but this didn't, so we're going to change it. So they're always looking to make the event better
Right.
any way they can. So it has I know there's been changes. We've been running activities. Do we have volunteers to do this? Can we do this activity? So activities have changed. I know over like the last month there were a bunch of activities getting thrown around, and we've changed some stuff, but it's all worked out. And there, like I said, there's tons of activities, almost anything for a kid in that building that they would find interesting to do.
And that's really, it's people always ask, and we talk to people all the time, especially when we're at events or after we've gone to events, and what kind of feedback do you get? What do people say they like, or what do they don't like? And
Right.
and again, it's interesting to get that feedback sometimes, because some of those things that you think, oh, this is a great idea, people are going to love this, and it's just, and then there's other things where you're like, oh, well, we can throw that in there and kind of see how it goes, and it becomes the most popular activity at the event. What are some of the things that you guys look for when you're getting that feedback, as far as planning ahead to, okay, hey, we need to put a little more emphasis on this because people like it, and maybe de-emphasize this?
Right. And I know for the events in the building, working with PTO and being in the meetings when they're planning this, a lot of it is did they keep the kids' attention for the entire time? Like, did they like that event? Did they not like that? Did it not work? Some of it's like, did the paint dry on the craft before the parent had to take it home? Things like that and we're like, that craft's probably not going to work, because then the parents got to carry that around the whole time. So they bounce ideas back and forth, I think, off parent feedback. A lot of it's parent feedback, because we do make it family oriented in there.
Well, and you mentioned, is it going to dry before you get home? And it's one of those things that you don't necessarily think about until you get in there and you go, oh, look at it, we're gluing all this popcorn string onto these papers, and then the kids are bringing it home and they're running around, and by the time they come back, they bring you the paper and there's like a kernel of popcorn left on it. But,
and I think the parents definitely give the PTO a feedback, and they're like, we hated that idea, don't do that this year, let's try doing this idea, let's do this craft, if they think it would work better for the kids. So
my kids loved it, but don't do that again.
Yeah, don't
No,
do that again.
Yeah, definitely have had that as a parent. Some of those moments, like, oh yeah, you had fun with that, great, okay, and now I'm scraping slime off my carpet.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're not doing it again. I hope you enjoyed it. Keep it in your mind, but but again, how important are events like this? Especially for some of these smaller municipalities that are, hey, we got to find ways to bring people in and let them know that we're still here and we have these things to offer.
Oh, these events are so important for our town, for the borough itself. We collaborate with the charter school with a lot of events. Their PTO has put a lot of time into this hometown holidays for us. With the events and the True Value, we have a group that is our holiday lighting committee. They do all the decorating in our town. It's so important for us to keep these traditions alive. Tying of the Greens tradition is so important to us to keep alive. We're one community that does it, and that kicks off our Christmas in town, and then Saturday they decorate Picture Show Park, and the group, that holiday lighting committee group, is phenomenal. They keep our town, that small town feel.
Yeah.
People always are saying, we want to come and see, do you have all the lights
Yeah.
up? And people from out of town that have moved away, they're like, can you video it? Because we just want to see it. Can you post it to social media so we can see what it looks like all lit up at night? Because it's traditions we've kept alive. And it's this event we're trying to get bigger. We're trying to promote it, trying to get more people out to town. It helps our businesses.
Right.
I mean, and get people to the town so they can see what Tidioute has to offer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and that's, you talk about people wanting to see, and like I mentioned, just doing that walk from the borough office to the fire department, had just a ton of feedback from people who are no longer in town and just they wanted to see. And we did last year. My wife and I drove around and just did some video of some of the Christmas lights around town, and certainly plan on doing that again here in the near future. But again, would a ton of people go, oh, they don't do Christmas lights like that where I am now. And so people, again, it's one of those things I think that you don't, that old saying, you don't know what you got till it's gone. Right. And people move away and go to different areas for a myriad of reasons, and all of them are valid. But again, it's, there's certain things that, we were in, my wife is in the Air Force, and we were in Colorado Springs for 6 years. And, you look out the window here and you see the hills and the trees. And when we moved on base, we went out into our backyard and looked out and saw grass. And I'm pretty sure we could see Nebraska from where we were, because it was flat. Right. And it was one of those things that we've said all the time, like, I just miss trees. Right. Like, I just miss seeing trees. Yeah. And but it's not something that you think about that, oh, if I go away from here, I'm not going to have that. Right.
And it's definitely where, like I said, that tying of the greens is like kickoff, and that's like a tradition. They are doing a great job. The committee is to keep that alive. It takes a lot to do that event and get those greens. Our fire department collaborates. They hang them for us. I mean, and that's important to a lot of our residents. Those are plugged in, and they know when they go up, and it's a big deal.
And
the greens are up
when they're up. Hey, all right,
that starts it.
All right, I gotta get my Christmas shopping done now.
Yeah, because that starts the events in town. Yeah. And like I said, tonight's event is a big deal for our community. We got a lot of volunteers. The collaboration with, like I said, the charter school, I can't even tell you how important that is. We do so much stuff with the charter school. I'm very thankful for the charter school in our town. They do so much for the community. And this is one thing that they do. Their PTO is helping us, to make this event big. Their volunteers are fantastic. I can't say anything negative about having the volunteers. You need them. And the holiday lighting committee, they do a great job. Yeah. They got hours into decorating Picture Show Park, and the borough office is decorated. They decorated in front of True Value. I mean, they're doing all kinds of decorating. You'll see True Value is completely decorated inside, and that was the PTO that does that. So we appreciate it. We really do for our community.
Definitely get down there tonight and check out everything that's gone into planning and decorating and getting Main Street ready to have the hometown holidays.
Absolutely. We welcome everyone. We want everyone to come down and check out what we got to offer tonight.
All right, with that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Coffee and a Conversation presented by White Cane Coffee here on Your Daily Local.
Providing a great cup of coffee and a better life for the blind and disabled. White Cane Coffee, because every cup makes a difference.
Welcome back to the cafe as White Cane Coffee presents Coffee and a Conversation. Brian Hagberg on Your Daily Local. Tidioute Borough Manager Amanda Mesel, our special guest this week. And, we were just talking over that commercial break that sometimes when you get involved in a conversation, time can go flying by and you don't even realize it. And again, we spent a lot of that time before the break. Obviously, hometown holidays tonight, 6 p.m. Tidioute Main Street. Get down there and check it out if you can. And certainly, that's a big event that you guys have going on. And we were speaking a little bit before we went on air about how vital having these events in that off season. You have the start of fishing season in April, and the end of hunting season just the next couple of days here. But to have things in that meantime to show people, hey, we're here all year round. This is not just a fishing and hunting community.
Yep.
Yeah. But again, how vital are events like this to maintaining and helping revitalize the borough?
This event definitely, because we bring in people to the community. We hope that it helps our local businesses. It's hard to keep businesses in a small municipality anymore. And this event, we're hoping will bring everybody in. We expect you to stop into the local shops, check out the local restaurants that are there, see what they have to offer in our community while you visit. We definitely want to keep these events. We have a few that we run every year in Tidioute, and every year we hope to make them bigger, so that everyone does come to Tidioute. I mean, I do have people that stop and see me in the municipality building all the time that tell me they come from out of town and they love Tidioute. They absolutely love it. It's where you were saying before, appreciating what you have. They love it here. They come here, and that's why they're here. That's their break. That's their getaway. They want to look at the river. They want the peace and quiet. So these events we're hoping that other people see what Tidioute has to offer. It is a quiet, peaceful town. That river is a key to our community. I admit it. The river in the summer, but off season, we tend to not have as many people in there because we have a lot of seasonal residents. And like you said, hunting and fishing. Once that season ends, we lose people. So the winter. So these events are vital. It's vital to the businesses that are still there, because we're bringing people into town. So,
and so what, as a borough, right? Like, how do you, when you look at the way kind of just generally things are going, right? Like, Tidioute is becoming more of a seasonal kind of place. So you've got a lot of seasonal residents. And so how do you transition from, 20, 25 years ago, it was more permanent residents, to now we're having more seasonal residents, and making that transition, but doing it in such a way that even in the off season, there might not be as many people. Some of the businesses might close down seasonally, but to still make it so that when that next season comes around, that following April comes around, those residents and those businesses make it a point to come back and say, hey, we're going to stay here, even if we have to adapt to the way people are coming to the town. And
it is. We face challenges out there with keeping businesses, because it's hard. A lot of the people leave for the winter. The summer is our busy time. I mean, it's obvious. The summer is our busy time in town. We still have our, as we say, it's seasonal. I guess I should say we have our residents that are, that have been there, and they would say Tidioute is their home, and as much as we are seeing properties selling around our area for them being seasonal.
We got a extra guest here as Tiger's come over to say hello from the Children's Advocacy Center, and we will always take time to say hi to Tiger. He's one of our great friends here at Your Daily Local, and have time for Tiger. Oh, thank you. That's my elbow. But yeah, and it seems that it's obviously it's not just Tidioute, right? I mean, we see this throughout Warren County.
I say it's countywide. I don't think we've had a few meetings. We have a Heart and Soul group, and talked about revitalization. We've met with some business owners to see what can we do. Like, what can we do to make the municipality better? What can we do to bring more businesses in? What can we do to help you? Because we want you to stay, because you're doing great. We want you to stay, but we gotta.
Taking that old Jerry Maguire approach. Help me, help you.
We would do anything to keep the businesses that we have. We have lost a few businesses. recently. We have a few places for sale, businesses for sale in town. And it is, they want to start a revitalization group to bring back. It does. I face so many challenges with what is the approach to do to bring businesses so that they can stay. And I admit that to people is I would love feedback. I want feedback. Give me the feedback of what we can do to get these businesses to come and stay, that they can be successful in Tidioute.
And so you would say, for example, say I was a business owner and for whatever reason, left or shut down or went out of business, whatever, you would be welcoming to that. Hey, this is what happened when I started, when, X, Y, or Z occurred that had a negative impact on my business. And this is why we had to go. And here's maybe some things that, the borough or the county or whoever could have done to help me stay in business, and they could reach out to you directly and have those conversations.
Absolutely. Because I've had we have businesses for sale, and I've had people reach out to me to find out, is there a way to get grants? Can we get a grant? So if I purchase the business, they can fix it up. And I was like, absolutely. The municipality will help in any way possible that we can. We will get you the resources of the county. We have grant writers. There's tons of ways. We will help them as much as possible to revitalize the town. That's going to help our community. So,
and for a small municipality, how key is, you talked about the charter school and the PTO with these events. How key has it been to keep the borough where it is, having that charter school?
Oh my gosh, the charter school we do so much collaboration with the charter school. We're selling ornaments right now at the borough, and the charter school kids made them. Nice. In the shop class. They do tons of stuff for us in their shop class. Their shop class does a lot of stuff for the town. But the charter school is another key to our community. It really is. The groups that's up there, the charter school is very successful. They do a phenomenal job, and we do community events all the time. We do, we have an event in the spring where it's like town cleanup. Yeah. And the charter school kids come down and they help us, and we give them activities and stuff. So the kids at the charter school it's definitely a key to our community. The charter school is.
And you were mentioning that they make a point to take part in the river cleanup every year. Because like you said, I mean that's a vital part to keeping Tidioute up and running, is that river. And I think it speaks volumes to the fact that the charter school and the students understand that, hey, if this river got to the point to where it wasn't flowing or it dried up or whatever, we're going to be in big trouble. Them, I think them understanding that, kind of plays a role in, hey, we know we have this resource and we have to keep it thriving for us.
Right. No, the rivers, I told you this when we had our conversation before going on air, that the river is definitely one of the main keys of our town. The summer, it is extremely busy. Our boat launch is extremely busy for kayaking and fishing. You name it, they're floating down it. I mean, we have events that, like anything that floats event that they do down the river. That weekend's crazy busy because they do that event. The boat launch is definitely one of the center parts of our community. It's utilized so much. You would imagine the weekends packed. No parking spots. And I personally take advantage of it in the summer because it's a gorgeous view to float down the river.
Well, and it seems like maybe that becomes a starting point, right? In that late spring to early fall kind of time is, how do you utilize and take advantage of not only the fact that you have this great boat launch, but that it's really almost right in the center of town.
It is. And we maintain it. The municipality does maintain it. Well, we need to, because that brings everybody in the summer. It does. And we couldn't do it without the boat launch. I absolutely love the boat launch area for picnicking. We just put a brand new playground in down there. Oh, nice. So if you haven't checked that out, come Friday night, when you're there tonight, check it out and look at it and see. We got a brand new playground. It's gonna be dark.
I should have walked down. I should have walked down the boat launch when I did.
And
when I strolled down Main Street.
Sent you down there. We just put in a brand new cedar playground down there, and it's a very nice. Our old one was damaged,
right?
And we fundraised, and they had enough money, and they put in a brand new one. So it just got built this last year. So.
Well, and again, I mean, even just something like that, just replacing playground equipment, how much of a struggle does that become? As the borough transitions kind of to this more seasonal area.
And that was a key we needed. The old one had been damaged. We had to get a new playground because that is an important asset to us, and it's right down on our property by the boat launch. And I know everybody took advantage of it. As soon as it went in, everybody was like, this is fantastic. Like, my kid loves the new playground. They're sending me videos, and I'm like, well, it was definitely worth us to put the playground in. But we do focus a lot on that area at the boat launch for the community in the summer.
And does it seem that, I mean, obviously that's not something that, the playground's broken. Okay, borough's just going to write a check and there it goes. But when you have to do, fundraising for things like that, what kind of response do you get from people?
We get a good response with people that want to help as much as they can. We did get a few grants for the playground through Warren Foundation and stuff. We did get a few grants to help us pay for the playground. We had some money. They had fundraised. We put some money away. So it just worked out that we could actually purchase the playground. We are selling those ornaments tonight for $5 that are Tidioute ornaments that the charter school kids make, and that money goes into our recreation fund to maintain the playground. So it will probably need some more new rubber mulch this year and things like that. So we do have to still fundraise to maintain what we have.
But again, you've got, you talk about the ornaments, and they're made local. You can buy local, and those dollars go back back into the community. And that's so important. We at Your Daily Local, we try to stress that as much as we can to people that, it is so important, especially this time of year, but I mean, all year long, but especially this time of year, go to those local businesses and spend your dollars here in the community so that money's going back to somebody who's going to keep it in the community.
Yep. And that's the thing. So most of the events that are taking place in the True Value, it's all local groups that are selling. So like the chili and cornbread that they're selling, that actually goes right back into the Holiday Lighting Committee, which are the ones that are decorating our town every year. So that's how they're getting all the new decorations in Picture Show Park. It's all staying local. So most of the stuff that's for sale is all local in our event tonight.
And just, again, even more reason to come on down, if maybe you don't have kids, but come check out some of this stuff that's being made right here locally. And then you can find out, well, how do I support you beyond the hometown holidays right throughout the year?
Absolutely. Yep. And we look for ideas. We are open for ideas. Anybody, we're always looking for volunteers, anybody that wants to help, but we appreciate feedback. We want feedback from anybody in the community, anybody that visits the community, to let us know, hey, if you did this, maybe this would help a little bit better. You could do this and maybe that would improve this. We're always looking for, positive and negative, nicely negative.
Constructive criticism.
There we go.
Well.
Let's say that.
Constructive criticism.
We're always welcome for it. The council would love to hear. They love to hear what people have to say. They our goal is to make Tidioute better every day. That's what we strive for. We strive to keep up. Technology, everything's changing. We have to survive as a small community. So feedback from anybody we take. I love when people stop and talk to me, and I love the people that stop and tell me history that I don't know. That's the most important in a small community. They'll stop and they'll be like, hey, you know about this? I'm like, no, but sit down and I want you to tell me because I want to know this so I know for the future what that was like in the past. Because we are a small community. So
and again, it's as a borough, it's finding that right mix of doing those traditional things and acknowledging the past while, like you said, moving forward and keeping up with society as a whole, so that when people come, they're getting almost the best of both worlds.
Right. Yep. And we do, like I said, those traditions are very important to us. We really, we're going to keep those alive as long as we possibly can. But like I said, we also are looking for change too.
Yeah.
We have to keep up as a small community. It is tough. It is tough. And unfortunately, a lot of it, like you just said, is funds. It's the money in order to keep up, to build the new playgrounds, to upgrade this. And sometimes we do run into problems with that. We do look for grants. Grants are a great funding source. And we do, you can get help through county and stuff. We do appreciate that. So.
Well, and I mean, the other thing, just generally, change is hard for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very, very difficult for a lot of people to just wrap their head around. We can't necessarily do things that's the way we've always done it. Okay, well, but that way is not necessarily going to work anymore. And you've got to be willing to adapt and change. And, and again, that's a thing that's not unique to Tidioute anyway. The county and the region as a whole has had struggled with change and adaptation. And, again, we talk to people all the time, and so often I hear, well, that's the way we've always done it. And that's just not a reason to do things.
Right.
It's just not, okay, well, that's the way you've always done it. But have you ever looked at, what if we did it this way? What if we modified this to do this, and it created this? If you're just sticking with, well, that's the way we've always done it, you're depriving yourself of the opportunity to grow.
Right. Yeah. And that's why I say we always appreciate feedback, because I'm always looking for ideas.
Yeah.
Anybody has any ideas, any feedback from the town, I always want to hear ways we can improve, because there's always rooms for improvement in every community. So we do take the feedback. I listen to them. I listen to what everybody has to say, and then, it will be presented to council.
So if somebody does want to reach out to you and talk about things, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
They can call the municipality building at any point. We're there Monday through Friday, 8 to 3:30. So
what's the phone number?
Oh, it's area code 814-484-7424.
And just ask for you?
Yep.
All right. So just call down to the municipal building and ask for Amanda and have a conversation again. But understand, with those conversations, be constructive about it. If there's something you don't like, that's fine, but don't just say, well, I don't like this, right?
Right.
Offer a solution. And I think that's true of, again, not just Tidioute, but all the municipalities, from the city to Bear Lake to Sheffield to Youngsville to Russell, everybody. By all means, provide feedback. And if there's something happening that you don't think should be happening, great, but provide a solution.
Exactly.
I think we've gotten in the habit that, especially with social media now, that everybody likes to put their opinions out. And so often those opinions are negative. And, this was just a terrible idea. Okay, well, how would you change it? And then it becomes crickets, right? And that's that next step in the process that we've got to get through is, okay, you didn't like it. Well, why didn't you like it? And how would you change it?
Exactly. And we do encourage any of our local residents and anybody to attend the council meeting. That's the time for you to talk to council. If you want to change, that's where it starts. You need to come to the council meetings and speak to them. They're open for people to come. They encourage us to tell residents, non-residents, come see us at the council meetings. And we meet the second Tuesday of every month at 7 o'clock at the municipality building. So anybody's welcome to come with feedback, changes, complaints, complaints. We open it. We're open to it. So.
And again, that's not just for Tidioute, but go to your municipal. We go to meetings all the time. I mean, as a perfect example, this past Monday there was a Warren County School Board meeting, and until about the last 20 minutes of the meeting, I was literally the only person in attendance. That can't happen. We got to be better than that. I mean, as a whole, we've got to be better than that. We've got to be engaged, and not just when something's happening that maybe you don't agree with. You've got to be engaged all the time, so that when some of those big decisions come up, you understand what's led up to them and how to provide feedback as to how it should proceed.
Right. And I completely agree with you. We need the involvement as much as possible, especially in the small municipalities. We need involvement. We need the volunteers. We need people to step up at all the time. It's not just for events. It's other things happening in the community that, it would be great all the time if I knew exactly. I can call this person and they can help me. That would be fantastic. And I'm sure most municipalities would agree with me across the county that, please reach out to us. We can always use the help. We can always use, resources. Resources are fantastic. We use every resource we possibly can to keep our municipality going,
And you can start doing all of that tonight, 6 o'clock, Hometown
Absolutely.
Holidays, Main
Come and
Street,
visit.
Tidioute. Come down, visit Tidioute, see what they have to offer, have a good time, bring the kids, bring the whole family.
The whole family.
Come down and check it out. So with that, man, I know you're busy today. You're
I
probably gonna get cracking back down
Yep,
there and start taking stuff. But thank you so much for taking some time with us today, and certainly we hope to spend some more time with you folks down in Tidioute.
I know. We want
as
you
the
down
year-
there
yes,
more, Brian.
We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm telling you. But and again, this is how the community can help us out, because if you are a business owner or an organization, your advertising dollars are how we survive. And the more local businesses that choose to spend those dollars with us, the more we're able to come down and cover. So, but again, we will spend some more time with you down in Tidioute this coming year and in the years ahead. That's a promise.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
That will wrap it up for this week's edition of Coffee and a Conversation. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this special Friday edition. So obviously we won't have anything Saturday morning, but typically tune in every Saturday morning as White King Coffee presents Coffee and a Conversation. For Amanda, this is Brian saying thank you so much for watching and enjoy your weekend.
You know what would make that better? A cup of White King coffee.
Wow, that really is great coffee.
White King coffee, because every cup makes a difference.
It's not just about music lessons. It's about hard work, perseverance, dedication, self-expression, making memories. Let's make memories together.